Three, two, one. Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to episode 156 of the KBMOD podcast. It is the date here. I'm going to say it before anyone in chat even types. Don't say it. Don't say the date, Scott, because I'm saying it. It is September 7th, 2014. It is a Sunday, and we're starting a little bit late. Brandon should be joining us in a little bit. But we got Nikon on the cast today. How you doing, Nikon?
Hey, doing good.
Good. And all the boys are back from PAX this week, so I know that they will be talking.
Boys are back in town.
Yeah, they are. And oh yeah, how many of those Twitch little signs do they have? They have how many emotes? Because those are dope.
Just Kappa, I think.
The Kappa.
It was Kappa and
It's
FenixRage
Kappa on one side. Yeah, the FenixRage's on the other side.
Okay.
Those are sick. Those are sick. Yeah, nice. Everyone's saying the date. I see it now. But yeah, what? I mean, I guess.
Scott, can you say the date, please?
No, I can't. We've already said it. The plane this week. Well, first of all, before we do the plane, because you guys are going to be. Oh, sponsor. Fuck, I forgot. I already forgot my job. Yes, we KBMOD.com multi-stream, which people use all the time, and is one of the coolest features I think that KBMOD has, which is brought to you in part by PC Part Picker. They're sponsor of the podcast and our website, and that's it, right? Is that all for the sponsors?
That is it for this week. Yes.
Okay, good. So yeah, definitely check out PC Part Picker. Very helpful for comparing prices, and you guys use it for the build guides every
falling
month.
into a horrible money addiction in PC parts.
Yeah, exactly. Brandon is with us. God bless him. Look at him looking absolutely ravishing tonight in his UMass Pro t-shirt. And I have to say, Brandon, your op last night in Counter-Strike, or was it the night before? Was on point, Brandon.
It was on point. It was. It was. I was pretty happy with that.
Brandon's getting back into his CS shape. I can tell.
Nice.
I'm trying to get back into form.
Yeah.
This is like the post-match soccer review that we were doing with Eric.
Yeah. People just try to give Eric like scenarios to try to throw him off his PR game.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, I think the best one, Anion gave him, like, because they were just escalating, of course. You know, it's a horrible things. And he was like, the question was like, a player who was like allegedly had committed a sexual assault has been brought onto your team as a free agent. How do you feel about him being part of your team? And Eric, if management thinks he's worthy to be here, then I think he's worthy to be on the team too. Everybody deserves a second chance. It was like the best.
I just want whatever's
just
best
Sports
for the team.
Center interview. Like, he's so trained. It's so good.
Maybe after the soccer thing's over, Eric will go into PR. It sounds like he's got the chops already for it. So what I was gonna say is before we get into the gaming stuff, PAX, any fun anecdotals to share with me and Nick, because we weren't there?
I'm never drinking again.
That's not accurate.
Judging from the tweets, and I could tell there was a lot of beveraging going on every night.
Oh God, dude! My wife went to PAX, so this was a first for her, being among the sweaty nerds.
And she played makeup for all the PAXs that she missed.
Yes, and
Egg partied, yeah.
she partied real hard. Yeah, like
Nice.
the morning we had to leave, I have this picture of her just in sunglasses and a Gunner sweatshirt, just like
Oh, I saw that one.
miserable as hell, like unable to eat for the first half of the day on this flight.
She definitely kept pace. She kept pace with everyone.
No,
I
she
can't-
did.
I come out-
She was like ready to. The night we left and we ended up in like 3 different places or something. We ended like playing pool. She was like ready to go party again after that. She's like, "Does Denny's serve alcohol?" Like, no, they don't. Like, it's fucking 4 o'clock in the morning, Megan.
Dude, Rishi, for those that don't know, r.swagoo, r.chata, Rishi comes out, and we meet Rishi at the Sheraton, and the last night we're there, and and we just have a few drinks. Like, John and Brandon were busy with some business stuff, so we went over to meet some other people at the other place, the other hotel, and we end up at this same bar that we keep ending up at, like the same one we were at last year.
Fucking retro, bro.
Yeah, it's awesome little bar. They were not happy we were there, but
They were not.
it was an
amused.
awesome little bar. We made them a lot of money, so they could shut up. She goes, I come outside and she's smoking cigarettes with Rishi. I'm like, you got kids at home.
Megan doesn't smoke. Megan never smoked, so
she smoked.
Wow.
She smoked in high school and then stopped and like hadn't smoked in like a decade, pretty much plus. Like. And I'm just like, oh my god.
Megan was determined. She was determined to have a good time. God bless her.
She did.
It's good.
She did.
That's good. She's like, I've had 2 kids. I need this. You know what? That's what that sounded like.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's good, man.
Well,
you picked a good one, Dan. You know, what can you say?
As much
She's
as
a
we all,
keeper.
The mother of your children can still party and party
Yes.
hard. You know.
one thing I will absolutely say is, as hard as we all rip on Dan, no one rips on Dan as hard as drunk Megan.
Yeah.
There was
It goes really hard.
Oh my god, yeah, she was obliterating you.
Yeah. She destroys me.
I wish I could have been there.
Before we get into games, though, a few announcements real quick before we get into more packs, before I forget to do these. Extra Life, October 24th through the 26th. The team is already at almost $18,000 raised.
Nice.
Big, huge shout-outs to Aurelian and the Minecraft crew who have all joined the team. She's raised 10K herself of that. So we had a little couch stream yesterday. We raised about $70 or $80 yesterday for it, so which I think is pretty decent for not, we had no prizes or anything set up for yesterday, but so make sure you guys don't miss it. October 24th through the 26th, the big giant LAN will be occurring. A lot of these people on this podcast will be there, so it should be a blast.
If you have any games or like digital stuff that you want to donate as a prize, you can send that to us at admin@kbmod.com.
Yep.
Steam keys and whatnot.
Yeah. We have as far as big prizes, we have a Wii U with what will be 3 or 4 games, 3 Pro controllers, and the Wii U tablet thing, just kind of shitty. Don't tell anyone though. The Wii U is awesome. That controller though, I don't know what they're thinking.
It's not comfortable to hold. Like, it functions, but it's like if you ever need to like shift weight from one hand to the other, like you need to like crack your knuckles on one hand, all of a sudden your wrist breaks because you're holding like 90 pounds in one hand. Like, yeah, it sucks.
So we have that. We have 2 PCs from Newegg. More details on that later, but we had that last year, but we'll have them again this year. We have some Gunner Optics stuff we'll be giving away. Blue Microphones is providing us with a couple mics to give away. And, of course, as always, as Brandon just alluded to, we will have games out the wazoo.
like a
to give
plethora
away.
of games.
Yeah.
So many games.
So, October 24th through the 26th, once again, 40-some hours of video games. So be there.
Mostly electronic sports.
Yes. Also, the T-shirt contest, we've extended it a couple weeks. You can check it out on KBMOD. We'll be putting the link back in the back in the post. I'll just link it in chat. Any designs, you don't have to be a professional. We'll look through them. We've extended the deadline for that a couple weeks. We have a few submissions, but we'd like some more. And also, Ultra Street Fighter 4 tournament next Sunday. First place will get a AAA price Steam game. Second and third will get anything they want under $40 on Steam. So come out for that. All skill levels, and actually, unless you're in I don't know, Australia might be stretching it, to be honest, with the net play. But in Endless Lobby, Europe is usually okay. So if you are a European player, you probably are okay, unless your internet is really bad.
The skill level of the best player in the KB mod community is probably not good enough for European ping to matter.
Yeah, it won't matter.
But that's just a guess.
Dale Z, Fat Attack, and Danny B are all actually pretty good at this point, but they could go to locals and do all right, but they wouldn't do anything in a tournament. But they're pretty decent. So there's some good players in it. But you can go sign up for that on Challenge. That's it for stuff on the site. And always check KBMOD.com. We've been posting a lot, so.
We have.
If you fell off checking it, because we did take a while off from posting, we are posting more stuff. And yeah, that's it.
Sweet. All right. Well, I mean, you guys are going to be talking a ton of PAX, but should we? So the only people that weren't at PAX were Nick and I guess.
Yeah.
Wow, we're losers. So Should we talk about what we've been playing, or do you guys just want to go into
let's
PAX?
talk about not PAX stuff. We'll just talk about
non-PAX what you've been playing.
Non-PAX gaming. Yeah. Well, you guys have been back for PAX for a little bit, so let's start with Nikon.
All right. Actually, the only memorable thing from the last 2 weeks, besides my usuals, played a little WoW, CS:GO, those things. Last night, a buddy's in town. I was at his birthday party earlier today, and me and my other buddy Chris fired up some Street Fighter 2 in his garage and played that probably for like 4 hours, and that was probably the most fun I've had in the last year in video games, because it's just like you're sitting right next to your opponent and you're just talking as much shit as you possibly can, and it was amazing, and I beat both of their asses.
That was my favorite thing about getting back into Smash Brothers is the shit talk.
Yeah, and then whenever I wasn't playing, which I probably only didn't play about 4 rounds because I was doing so well for some reason, I would shoutcast it, and then it would make them both really upset because whoever was losing, it just put so much pressure on them. And it's like, shut the fuck up, Mark. Jesus. Like, but God, it just brings back memories of when you sat around a couch with your buddies playing a game, and it doesn't happen as often.
It is it's weird that we're all more connected now with online gaming in the sense of being able to meet people, but there is no replacement for the in-person shit talk on the couch and the hype that is generated in a room of a bunch of sweaty
like hand
nerds.
jobs and shit. Yeah.
Well, that too. Yeah, exactly.
I also feel like we haven't had. I feel like the N64 was really. I mean, GameCube was okay for it, but I think the N64 was the last one that was set up perfectly in almost every game for that. Like, but I feel like since then there hasn't been a console, and it almost has to be a console that does it because it's cheap. You know, everyone can have one in the living room. So, you know, but we haven't really had that. Like, PlayStation and Xbox don't really strive to have 4-player.
No,
games, right?
they actively go out of their way.
Yeah.
They actively go out of their way to make sure that people will not enjoy split screen, because when people have to play online, they sell better. They sell more units, they sell more consoles, you know, etc. Like, it's way better for them financially to not have split screen be a thing.
Yeah. Cool.
Word. Okay, cool. So that was Nikon Street Fighter 2 today. Blacklight. Hit me.
Not a whole lot, honestly. I've been kind of doing the really shitty game of being an adult. Like,
dude, that game is honestly the worst.
It's serious. I don't know why anybody plays it. If I had known there would have been
expensive too.
Yeah, the DLC is
seriously.
Like,
if I had known that there was going to be
Dan, what exactly? Hold on. What is the DLC, Dan? Is that marriage and kids?
I'm not saying anything. I'm not qualifying anything. DLC is whatever it's going to be. All right.
So what is getting your balls snipped? Is that like a hard mode challenge?
Yeah. I got
achievement unlocked.
Achievement for that. 10 points.
So
sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
If I had known there would be this much laundry in my life, I never would have grown up. I would have just like bashed my head into a wall really bad, so I would have had to have been taken care of for the rest of my life just to never do laundry.
Are you changing your clothes an inordinate amount a day or something? You're always talking about your laundry since you moved
no,
on.
I mean, like,
laundry
is
not that bad. Like, you throw a bunch
like once
in and then you're done for like a week.
No. I'm fine with doing laundry, like the actual act of doing laundry. I hate folding laundry. That's I mean, like,
don't do that shit.
Doing the laundry.
Hang all your shit up.
Yeah,
I probably should. I
throw it all in a fucking basket and leave it there.
This most recent cycle of laundry though is the worst because I have so many T-shirts. I was able to go like seriously like 4 weeks without washing any shirts, and I still had more to wear. So I just had this massive pile of dirty T-shirts in like the one like sort of closet space I have, just waiting to be washed. And I finally had to do them because I was at this point finally running out of shirts. So. That was way too much. I literally had 3 loads of shirts to do because
You have a washing machine in your apartment or no?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm very lucky.
You missed that whole.
So good.
You moved right into a fucking god pad. I remember the days of my first apartment having to go down with the plebes, sit there and worry that I'm going to be raped by 3 of the people sitting next to me. I don't know what's going to happen.
Nice. You fancy yourself as a rape victim? You think
I don't fancy myself. I'm just saying I'm pretty good looking and it could happen. That's all.
I was going to say you could have it way worse.
Has nothing to do with it, Scott.
Like if you live in a dorm or somewhere that doesn't have washing machines in your actual apartment, it is the worst.
It's the worst. Absolutely. The coin laundry, man. It's like just that you have to schedule your life. I mean, that's just another thing you have to schedule in your life. Like, am I gonna go do laundry now? It's 2 hours of my life gone.
Or you try to strategize. How long can this underwear last?
Well, that too.
It's true. It's true.
I really don't want to go to the laundromat. Like,
Worst case scenario. Go ahead.
The last time I did have to share laundry, like a laundry area with people, was when I was in a dorm room, and I was maybe like an hour and a half from home. So I would just not do laundry for like 3 weeks and then drive it all home and then just have my mom do it because I was just such a goddamn adult. Because just doing laundry in that place was a fucking miserable experience. You like try to drum a conversation with somebody and they just be like, they're like, I'm doing laundry. I don't want to fucking talk to you. I hate my life right now.
Yeah. Like, that's pretty consistent. Everyone, when they're doing laundry like that, it doesn't want to talk.
Yeah, nobody wants to talk. Like, they don't really have anything to do. Like, maybe they're sitting there like playing a DS or like reading a newspaper, but they are not. They're not like trying to make the best of it. You know. No. So yeah, it is definitely.
No one's happy about that situation.
No.
Exactly. No. Exactly. So that's why I am pretty #blessed to have a unit in my apartment all to myself. That is quite nice. But as for things I've been playing, I mean, playing a little bit of WoW, playing a little bit of Counter-Strike. Casual with one, terrible at the other, but haven't really been playing too much. Been reading a little bit of, I've been on a bit of like an anime kick because I'm a fucking weeaboo, and I constantly say like I'm not really an anime fan, but like every time I talk about it, I'm just shooting myself in the foot. But I rewatched one of my favorite animes of all time, Gurren Lagann, and then I've been reading, I started on One Piece, which is a manga that has like about 1 billion volumes at this point.
Like 9,000 episodes of the show as well.
Yeah, well, the show is actually kind of shit. The animation is really bad, and they kind of cut corners a lot, but the manga is really well drawn, actually. It's still got a weird style, and characters are very, like, disproportionate and odd-looking, but it's done really well. Like, that's just... I forget the guy's name, but that's just his art style, and he does, like, the best facial expressions ever. And then also FenixRage, which is one of my favorite video game franchises of all time, has a manga that I'm reading, which is surprisingly good. And I've been meaning to play that. Actually, I found out while I was at PAX, this isn't really PAX talk because it didn't really have anything to do with what was being shown at PAX, but I have a friend that works, that used to work at the PR firm, a gaming PR firm across the street, who just got a job at Capcom. And so I went up to the Capcom booth and said hi to her, and she was demoing there's an upcoming original FenixRage trilogy for the 3DS, which I'm definitely going to buy and stream. But I was like, oh, whatever happened to that Professor Layton FenixRage crossover? Did that ever happen? Did that ever come out, or was that ever announced to come out in America? And she's like, oh yeah, it came out today. And I was just like, it was like what are the odds of that occurring? So
you're really definitely not into anime at all.
No,
or anything or manga.
I don't know anything about it.
Manga,
pretty much a casual
manga.
I like things that happen to be anime. I don't go out of my way to watch anime.
That's just anime.
If you go out of your way to look for animes that have nothing, like nobody was like, this is a good show, you should watch it, then you're probably an anime fan. You're like, I need a new anime to watch. Like I don't do that. If somebody's like, you should check out this show, and it happens to be an anime, sure, I'll watch it. It happens to be.
Listen, I love mangoes, and I love animatronics. Like Five Nights at Freddy's, those animatronic creatures that are really spoopy. So I think I'm following you.
Okay, I'm glad we're on the same page.
No, honestly, like in all seriousness, I've never watched an anime. I've never watched an anime in my life. I don't know anything.
Have you watched Pokemon?
No, I never watched Pokemon.
What the fuck?
I skipped that. What the fuck? I was too old for Pokemon.
Not have a problem.
No, you weren't.
I was too old for it. I was way over it.
No.
Wait.
No, about have a problem.
I was actually too old for that show.
Yeah.
So Scott would have been maybe close to too old.
Nick's like 5 years younger than me.
You would have been old enough for
Scott, how old are you?
I'm 34.
He doesn't even
One of
know
these
how
days.
old he is.
I don't know. I'm 27.
If you ever want to watch one it's basically anime only in art style, watch Cowboy Bebop. It's just
no. I'd be down to try. I just honestly have never.
That was what I watched when I was a kid, but it's extremely westernized. It's very influenced by like a whole lot of American culture. So it's kind of a combination of sci-fi, spaghetti westerns, and jazz music. So it's like pretty much all American influences. And there are a little bit of like very few anime moments to it, but for the most part, it's very accessible to like a non-anime watching audience.
All right,
and it's just overall one of my favorite shows.
And you said it's on Netflix. or no?
I think it is on Netflix.
I'll take a look.
And the best part is,
Crunchyroll.
I don't think it's on Crunchyroll. The best part about it is the English voice actors are better than the Japanese, which is a rarity because a lot of people don't watch anime because they don't like subtitles, and usually when they localize it to English, the voice actors are really bad. So
just like
Cowboy
hentai.
Bebop is,
Yeah, I understand.
yeah, of course, yeah. No, but the voice actors are way better in English for Cowboy Bebop.
Cool. All right. So is this sponsored by Faku.net yet? Yeah, well, I mean, we should be. Dale's is in here. Okay, cool. Brandon, hit me with your best shot, Brandon.
Oh my god.
Mainly just CS:GO and Hearthstone since I've been back. I've been playing the game of thinking that something really bad happened and something not as bad happened. I was sick leaving PAX, and I was all stopped up, and so on the flight home, I got this incredibly excruciating pain in my ear, and and it was, I mean, like for a few minutes, like just seriously excruciating pain, and then it stopped, and it felt like something happened. And then I got off the plane, and like I had some blood in my ear, and I was like, oh man, I don't know what this is. But it seemed to be fine. And then I got home, and Hillary was like, I bet you ruptured your eardrum. And I was like, and then I looked it up, and I was like, I had these symptoms. I was like, oh man, that sounds
you got
really,
WebMD'd.
Oh no.
Well, no,
Ear
so
cancer.
it sounded, yeah, I mean, it sounded really severe. So I went to the doctor, and I didn't rupture it, but I guess like something happened, but maybe it just didn't quite rupture. So anyway, I think I dodged a bullet there because it like was really, really painful there for a minute. So I've had a couple doctor appointments this week and stuff, and just like catching up on work. I haven't really been able to play much, but we had some nice CS:GO matches last night.
We did.
I was one with the op. Felt really good.
You almost had that.
All that really matters.
Yeah. You almost had that 5v1 clutch on, what were we playing?
Yeah, almost clutched it.
I forget what the name of the fucking, Cash, on Cash. Yeah, Brandon was on fire. So, back to form. Okay, sweet. Well, God bless you, man. I hope the eardrum thing never happens again. That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrible.
Could have been much worse, apparently.
Yeah.
So, pretty happy with the outcome.
It's good. John, what about you?
A little bit of CS:GO. We've been playing lots of WoW. We started raiding as a guild. We killed Garrosh last night, which is fucking cool.
Yes.
Other than that, just CS and Hearthstone a little bit of Hearthstone. Not much Hearthstone. Trying to be a little more casual with that. Just get me to rank 20 so I get my card back. So I can't be spending any more money on that game.
Yeah, that's all I do. That's all I do in that game now is just I get my quest done and I get my card backs, and that's it. I'll wait for the game to stop being so broken, which is going to be never. So
I'm waiting for like some extreme meta changes before I'm like gonna dive in again.
Yeah, I'm in that boat.
Yes. Fentarino.
Smite.
Smite, yep.
Been smurfing and it's fucking painful.
Yo, you guys went to a show.
Oh,
yeah, we went to Coheed last night and it was tight.
It's fucking tight.
Was it
Claudio did his thing.
Was it the playthrough of
In Keeping, yeah.
Secrets
In
album,
Keeping?
yeah.
I'm still
And they
debating
did,
going to that show here.
Dude,
Bob and
you
Hex
should
are
go.
going, and like thinking about it.
Yeah, it was fantastic. They apparently this was only their second stop on the tour so far, and it was funny. They had a couple towards the end. They had a couple technical difficulties, and they were saying they're still a little rusty. But like as far as like performance and Claudio's voice and the lights and everything, dude, their like production was really on point. Nick, their production was like that was the best production I've ever seen them put off, even during their Good Apollo tour. So anyway, it was really good.
Technology has made concerts really good.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's not just an audible experience anymore. It's like visual, and yeah, it's real good.
Yeah. Oh, it's real good, especially when you're on that cush. You know what I mean? All right.
let's cush.
Jesus.
Good lord. All right, and then I'll go. We'll go ahead, Dan. Did I not go with? I didn't hit you up yet.
Well, you can go. You gotta go. So
I'll go real quick. Yeah, I gotta run in a minute. But CS:GO, obviously, yeah, same. I'm CS:GO, and then I also finally someone donated 5 Nights at Freddy's for me to play, so I was like, I should try it. And my goodness, I like it.
It's really good, right?
It is. It is. So I thought Mark was like a little over the top at first when I watched his video, and then I went and I fucking actually tried it, and it is the biggest piece. The fact that that game is charging $5. I mean, people can do what they want with their money, but it is just such a rancid piece of shit. And what's so funny about it, it's not so much that the game is such a piece of shit, it's the defenders of it coming into the chat and telling me that I have to keep playing it after 20 minutes to really get the full experience. And I literally, at one point, I stopped and I said, does anything else happen other than one of these creatures just popping up randomly if I don't close the doors in time? And they were like, well, no, but and I was like, well, what the fuck are you telling me to play it for? Anyway, whatever. It's hilarious. Also, though, PT, which is a good example of a really good, well-made, scary, kind of just small game, obviously. If you guys don't know what PT is in the chat,
I need a
playable teaser. Yeah, the Silent Hill kind of reveal or whatever.
Pain is titties.
It's fucking... So as proof, because you know that Sham, Mark is very hard to impress, first of all, in scary games or scare. So we ended up doing it at Operation Game Drop this week for a little bit because the game we were playing was really shit. And I have never seen, this was the first time, first of all, in person, I'm sitting next to Mark, and he is fucking spooked. Like, to the point where I was almost like, this can't actually be happening. So that made me really happy. Anytime a game actually really, really scares Mark and gives him a physical reaction, you know, we're winning. So PT is really, really cool. You should check it out if you have
Mark
Xbox.
watch The Conjuring. Just to see what happens.
Is it on PS4
I don't know.
too?
I don't know if he'd be scared. He might be. I think it's on both, isn't it? I think
PT?
I'm not sure. Or is it PS4?
PS4, I'll get it.
I think it's PS4.
I think it's PS4 only, possibly.
Yeah,
I need to
think
get
you're
it.
right
Okay.
there.
Yeah, you should try it, Dan. It's fucking crazy. It's really scary. So, anyway, go ahead. Go down. That's it for me.
Yeah, I played a good chunk of WoW. Brandon has spilled milk all over his desk. That's awesome.
God bless.
I'm level
Root man
89. I'm like 25% into 89 now in WoW, so I'm almost to max level, just in time for the next expansion. Yeah, so I've been playing a lot of that. I've been playing a lot of Hand of Fate, which I'll go into more when we talk PAX stuff. Game is super cool. I got a PS4. Sitting
Nice
right
trader.
here next to me. I have no games except for the 2 free games that come with PS Plus.
PS4 has no game.
But Tuesday I will have a game, and that game is NHL 15. And let me preface this by saying, never has a game been more ripped apart than NHL 15.
I was going to say, I saw an article today that looked pretty bad.
So let me preface this by saying, I don't play any of the modes they took out. So to me, this makes literally no difference in my experience for the game. I play GM mode only, and I will probably play the 1v1 online stuff that will be in this. But let's just put it this way. So because they were starting over for next gen, this is their excuse anyway, which is somewhat bullshit. There is no EASHL, which is like online leagues that you could play with full teams of 5 people versus full teams of 5 people. That has been stripped out. No NHL 94 mode. That doesn't really matter. No Hockey Ultimate Team. So those who play FIFA know kind of what this is. You can buy card packs and put teams together. There's rare players, all that kind of stuff. No offline seasons in that. No tournaments in that. And you can't play friends in Ultimate Team either. No Winter Classic. No GM Connected, which is like the GM mode, but versus 29 other people in the league.
Wow.
No Shootout mode. No Live the Life mode, which was like the, be a pro type thing. No be a CHL pro, which is like minor hockey. No be an NHL pro, which means you start in the NHL. In the be a player mode, you just get drafted to a random team. You can't pick the team you're drafted to. I don't play. Once again, I think this is bullshit, but for me, from my experience for the game, I don't care at all because I don't play any of these modes. You can't draft players and be a GM, which is real dumb. That was like a real big part of it. However, it doesn't actually ruin the experience that much because it was somewhat of a crapshoot. No fantasy draft and be a GM. So you can't start with the whole pool of NHL players and try to draft a team from scratch. That does suck because that's fun. No be a legend mode, no season mode, no tournament mode, no playoff mode. No battle for the cup. No creation zone, which was where you could create your own players. No edit team. No edit player. No customize AI. No build your AI. No create a play. No custom music.
Is that real?
Yes.
Real?
No simming between shifts and Be a Pro, which is the worst. Now no one will play Be a Pro now. No custom cameras. No mobile companion app for Ultimate Team, and no Ultimate Team action tracker. Again, this is bullshit, and like they're charging $60 for a game that they took 70% of the content.
Of it.
Yeah.
It's even more.
I'm really
than that,
glad I'm not into tennis.
Because Ultimate Team is huge. Like everybody wants to play Ultimate Team, and taking out the a bunch of that stuff, like that's gonna really hurt it. As a person who only plays GM mode, I don't really care that any of this is out of the game, to be completely honest.
I liked online team play a lot.
Yeah. So there is still online 1v1, which is like, you control the whole team versus someone else, which I will play a lot of, but it is crap. It is crap. Some of this is going to be patched in. Fantasy draft and GM mode I know is getting patched in, as well as drafting your own players in GM mode I believe is being patched in. But they said they will not have EASHL, which is the 5v5 online tournament stuff. That won't be until next year's game. But this only leaked so people have pre-ordered this thing, like weeks before, and paid $60 to hopefully get what they thought they were getting. So, like, wow. If you play,
that's fucking balls.
Yeah, if you play,
that's pretty
for
bad.
any of those modes, you just got fucked, basically. So that kind of sucks, but for me, it doesn't frankly matter that much. We also had our couch stream yesterday, which if you missed it, you missed some hype stuff. We played Super Mario Wii U, which is like the most trolly game with the dude with the gamepad who can put out like totally block people's jumps and stuff, even though he's supposed to be helping, but he can just be an asshole.
Were you guys playing New Super Mario Brothers or Mario World 3D?
New Super Mario Brothers U or whatever. Worst title in the world.
Oh no.
Yeah. We played some Mario Kart. We also played Towerfall, which, let me reiterate, Towerfall is the greatest couch game I have ever played. Better than GoldenEye back in the day. Better than all that. It is the hypest shit
you better calm down.
Ever. It is so good. If it had online multiplayer, man, that would be amazing. But it doesn't. It only has local co-op. So you have to know 4 people and play it on your couch. Who want to play Towerfall, that is. It's pretty fantastic, and you should play Towerfall. Like, get your friends together. Don't get it on the Ouya. Just hook up. You can hook up a laptop to a TV and play this if you have enough USB ports to play it, because it's an 8-bit game, so it's not not intensive. But it's awesome. Yeah, Sean is amazing at it, like way too good. But I highly recommend Towerfall. Like if you're in a dorm or something, fucking get Towerfall.
Yeah, we have it at the Twitch offices. We played over some friend's house around here as well. Like it's just super fun, super hype, really good game.
How much does it cost?
It's like $15.
Oh, is it 15? Well, it's worth 15 if you can get people over to play it.
Yeah, 10 or 15
is it local
not a full price.
Local co-op only. There is a single player mode, but you can unlock levels and shit through that. But I mean,
if they had online play, it would be fucking glorious.
Yeah, they have said that they want to do it for a new game. For like a Towerfall 2, they could do it, but they said that the timing is just too, which makes sense to me actually with the way that game plays. Like the timing, the netcode would be way too hard.
Definitely
to work out.
I agree with that.
So, but no, we haven't played Gang Beasts yet. We were actually going to play it yesterday and kind of forgot. It was one game that we thought about playing yesterday, but Towerfall is just too hype, man. Because people can pull off like ridiculous shots in that, like, especially good players. You can like wave dash in it, like it's pretty crazy. So
like it's really really well made.
Yeah, and it seems like it got updated since our last couch stream because we got like a bunch of new levels and stuff. You can also customize the game 100%. Like you can change the way the levels work, the way the arrows work, what arrows people spawn with. There's also about 5 or 6 different game modes in it. It's really good. Again, if you're in a dorm or something like that, like I highly recommend picking it up because it's super hype. But we're gonna take. Do we miss anybody? No, I think we all went that are on the call.
Yeah, I think we're good.
So we're gonna take a quick 2-minute commercial break, guys. If you don't want to see commercials, consider subscribing to the channel. But we'll be back in 2 minutes with a little bit of news and some PAX games. So see you in a couple minutes.
I forgot to say that I bought my Xbox.
You did buy it?
Well, I ordered it.
Did you? Where'd you order
Exclusive Newegg because I got
That's
Destiny
what I
for
did
free.
too. Yeah. I'm so on the fence on Destiny.
Is there? I was just gonna pre-order it on Amazon. Do you know of anyone that has like some kind of special deal or some crap?
All I know is that if you
Yeah.
buy an Xbox, you get a game for free. That's what I did.
Mark, just take back your PS4 and get the Destiny bundle. There you go, done. I will say the size of the PS4 is quite nice. It's like
Yeah, I have it right
on
next
my
to me.
desk.
I don't like care about how big consoles are because like I don't.
Well, I
look
wasn't
at
really
them.
making fun of the Xbox One. I was just
No,
saying,
I know,
it's
but,
smaller
like,
than my PS3.
It just
Like-
I like just don't care because I'm not gonna look at it anyway.
Well, I have limited desk space. So I'm like,
You're also a fucking loser,
wow,
so
dude.
you're not joining my guild on Destiny.
MMO light, call it. So.
Yeah, I don't even know if there are guilds in that game.
I don't know.
I would imagine there are, but under a different name.
Isn't it like
Well,
max 4-person groups or something?
it's 3
Or am I
people.
crazy? Okay. Oh, that's a weird number.
Well, there's 3 classes in the game,
Ah, okay.
so I think that was the
That does
reasoning.
make sense then.
Boners.
Dude, boners. Hardware boners coming up to start this.
I can't.
next thing.
I just every time I say that I got an Xbox for Destiny, and everybody's like, "You're missing stuff on PS4." No, because that's an extra $400, and
Yep.
I'm buying it a console because Halo. So
Did you get the
There you go.
non-Connect version? I
Yeah.
assume? Yeah. God, I wonder how many people buy Connect versions now. Like 4.
Probably not many people.
Like. All right, we are back. About to start up the news here.
There it is.
And Haswell and PAX. I'm gonna tweet it real quick. Boom. So Haswell-E finally got benchmarks during the 2-week break where we were gone, and they are, as you would expect, pretty damn good. But for gaming, don't make much of a difference at all. However, if you're someone who needs to render or someone who wants a ridiculous stream PC, it is something to look at, of course. I know Tetra Ninja is getting a 5960X because he's a madman. But yeah, they show pretty good, obviously, for benching. The 5820K, I think, Brandon, is interesting, though, because it's only $50 more.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think the thing is that like it's probably a good choice if you're already going to be buying like a $2,000 build or something. It's worth considering.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that you're gonna have a more expensive motherboard. You're gonna have more expensive memory.
Dude, when you say more expensive motherboard, it is ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
X99 boards. Like,
yeah, like don't buy any of these unless you really do consider yourself an enthusiast. Like if you don't and if you don't overclock, like literally do not buy these. If you don't enjoy getting your hands dirty with hardware, I don't think there's really any point to buying these.
Yeah, like the 5820K interests me because here's the thing. You can think about it like this. It's only $50 more than a 4790K, which is the flagship regular i7. But it's 6 cores, and I think the way they did these this time, the 5930K, which is like $500, is a useless chip. There's like no point to it at all. Like it doesn't even do better in any way. Not even SLI scaling, which is where these big, expensive chips do really well. Like there's no point to that chip existing, in my opinion. It gives you more PCIe lanes, which didn't do anything in Anatech's benchmarks. So Basically, if you're completely nuts, the 5960X is there. But if you just want something where you can render a lot faster, or you want like a beast mode stream machine, 5820K is a good way to go. But as we just said, motherboards are all $200 plus. Like that is your minimum, is $200 and something for a motherboard on this. That's twice as much as a 4790K. And DDR4, actually not terrible. I was looking at the prices. Some of them are not bad. But you're still paying a lot more for not very much gain. If you're a gamer, just don't. And that's all you do. Just don't.
Yeah, like where these really shine is heavily multi-threaded stuff, and they shine really, really well. I mean, like these new parts for multi-threaded stuff blow Ivy Bridge E right out of the water.
Yeah.
But I mean, like if you need a PC like this, you probably already know you need a PC like this. I mean, that's what it boils down to, is that like the majority of people using this are going to be people that have like professional applications where that time savings in these multi-threaded applications really matters. For gaming, I mean, it's just not like, it's really only useful if you want to future-proof, but even then it's like questionable, because the difference in how much it's going to cost versus you just buying a second PC like 2 years from now.
Yeah, exactly.
The value proposition is probably better to just buy a new PC 2 years from now.
I spec'd out just like upgrading my processor, motherboard, and RAM, like because I wouldn't need, and a cooler. You'll need a different cooler, because I wouldn't need anything else. It was like $800 and $900 just for those 4 parts, because the motherboards and stuff are so expensive. But so yeah. Like, Tetra Ninja, though, I can see that. He could use 16 threads. He renders, like, a million videos. Constantly. Yeah, so...
yeah, that's a good example. Like, if that is your livelihood, if you are constantly churning out, like, photos, like, rendering out photos, rendering out scenes, rendering videos, stuff like that can take advantage of all of those cores, and, like, overclocking a PC like that gets you even better benefits. Then absolutely. But like, if you're not, if you're not really, if you're just a dude, this is not the PC for you.
Yeah. So, but
it will not make it
I'm
into
sticking
any
with
of our
my
build guides.
3930K for my next build. I'm just gonna upgrade GPUs.
I think you'll be fine.
After looking at the benchmarks and stuff, like there's really no reason for me to upgrade at all.
Yeah, I think that's the one. For a regular consumer, that's maybe the one thing I could see, is if you do get this one, you can very comfortably skip the next generation of CPUs and probably the next 2.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing with the extreme chips, is they're normally about the same or better as the next 2 consumer level chips.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that, but like I don't know that it's worth it to try and future-proof yourself that much, when something like the 4790K is already like such a good value and will last you a really long time. Yeah. I just don't think it's worth it.
So there you go, new Intel chips. We won't have more new chips or regular ones till next summer probably, but
GPUs soon though.
Soon, we
please,
think.
please.
NVIDIA.
Very soon, probably.
Soon. Yeah.
Please.
Ready to buy. So I gotta get. I'm done with this SLI shit. It's annoying.
So PAX Prime, though, that's why we didn't have a podcast last week, and there were video games there, a few of them.
I didn't play any.
Were there?
I played drinking.
You did play drinking games. Mark, let's talk about Evolve, since I know you got in to play that. I did not.
Yeah, Evolve was fun. Did you play it too?
I played, yeah. I got in with Nick and a few of our buds. We got destroyed.
The important question is, how much better is it going to play on mouse and keyboard?
A lot better.
A lot better, obviously. I mean,
it gets optimized compared to the alpha I didn't play.
Yeah, no, you didn't play it, obviously.
I didn't play that.
Okay, to be fair, the game played, for how bad I am and how uncomfortable I am with a controller, the game played pretty well. Like, I didn't feel too hampered, because the game is much more about teamwork and positioning and strategy than it is about shooting. Shooting is still part of it, but when you're a human, I played one of the humans. I played the medic who carries a sniper rifle. Your target is this massive fucking thing. I mean, just finding it is the hard part. Hitting it isn't that difficult. So on the plus side, I actually kind of enjoyed it. The downside was actually a pretty specific problem, which was that my headset didn't work in the booth, and I therefore could not communicate with any of my team in a game. They couldn't hear me, and I couldn't hear them. But I also happened to be the only one that was seeing the monster, and they were trying to tell me how to ping, because you can ping in the game. But obviously I couldn't hear them because my headset was busted. So like it was just a fucking mess, and we got annihilated really bad. So my experience was kind of ruined for that, but I'm not going to fault the game for that. Right. From what I played, it seemed pretty interesting. I was having fun.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, when it comes out, I'll probably end up buying it just for, because the 4v1 aspect is a lot of fun.
It'll be a few weeks of fun at least, I think.
Yeah, I just really, truly think if you don't, like, if you're buying it and you don't have other friends are buying it, this game will not have anyone playing it in a month. Like, I truly believe that.
I just know that we'll be able to get 5 people to play it every now and then, and it'll be fun then. But other than that, no.
I think like that's the only way, because I think 2 or 3 months in, it'll be very hard to find. It'll be like finding Game of the Hidden right now, pugging. Like, you just can't.
Well, it has the same. It's like the same problem as Left 4 Dead, which is that it's a lot of fun to play with friends, but it is very, very difficult to play with people that you're not actually talking to, or if someone won't talk, it's just so frustrating.
But Left 4 Dead has add-on support, so it still is alive
forever.
Very, very alive.
Yeah. No,
I feel like my problem is like there's obviously the dynamic of 1v4. It's the monster versus the human versus 4 humans, but people who are solo queuing don't obviously want to play the monster, but chances are, like, when you're YOLO queuing, more people are going to be YOLO queuing along with you, and that means everybody wants to play the monster. Only one person's going to get to, and then everybody else.
Queue problem.
everybody else is going to be stuck. I don't know if you can queue to play monster specifically, or it's like just queue to get in a game, and if you're by yourself, then it'll just fill you in randomly. I was kind of wondering that
too. Do we know how they're going to do matchmaking for the one person?
Right, that's what I'm trying to figure out. If you queue up just yourself, are you guaranteed to get monster? Is there a chance that you're going to be put in a game with somebody else who is solo queuing and they could get monster, and you're stuck on a team with people you don't know?
Nick, how did it work in the game you didn't play?
I didn't play it very much because it ran like ass. Like it could not play it without it being retarded. If I played it.
Were you playing it? It ran like ass.
If I would have played it, I probably wouldn't have played it for very long, because it probably would have ran really poorly, and it just kind of ruined my experience. Which is, I mean, you can say it's an alpha, but it's not really an alpha.
I'm hearing from chat. I'm hearing from chat.
Before, when it got delayed,
everyone selects preferences and it's randomized, so you can be like, I would prefer to be the monster, but there's no guarantee you're going to get it. So.
Yeah, it'll try and put you in a game where you could get the monster or whatever role, but...
I'm just saying, if it's a scenario where 5 people solo queue and they all get put into the same game, the monster's at a distinct advantage, because he doesn't need to coordinate with anybody.
Yeah. True. In a pug, it's always going to be that way, like, for sure.
Exactly.
Let's just hope that you can't dodge the queue, and then it's like a MOBA where then it's like, oh, well, that queue's gone. Because everyone's going to be like, oh, I want the monster, and then they don't get it. It's like, I'll just dodge this because I don't want to play it.
Yeah, that'll be a huge problem.
That's kind of, I think, what I was trying to get at when I said, like, Left 4 Dead, at least you have the same number of players on each side. Yeah. So when you're queuing up individually, it's like both teams still have to coordinate, and the best team can win, even when you're on a team of people you don't know. But with the 4v1, I feel like very quickly the strategies for being the monster will come out, and then in like anything but organized games, the monster will have this distinct advantage because you never have to work with anyone. It's just your individual skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I didn't play it, it automatically had a voice chat on, which was
every fucking game does that now.
But it makes sense for Evolve.
Yeah,
in
but
that
like,
case.
Yeah.
The crew, and it was broken.
Oh yeah, in games that it doesn't need, like, super annoying. Don't want it in my life at all. But
and it was broken too, so it was like you would get around 5 or 6 people in the crew, and your mic would just go like it was just garbled, and it was super loud, and it was like, why is this not off by default? Just give me. give me the choice to not talk to people and make it really obvious. But I played a bunch of games. I was like all business Friday. I went to like 5 or 6 booths, played all these games. Got to play some Titan Souls. If people have heard of this game, it is it is a hard to kind of categorize, I guess. I mean,
voxel-based indie pixelated shooter, yeah.
It is pixelated. It is indie.
Right up my alley.
But it is a game where the whole game is boss fights. Every game is boss fights, or everything is boss fights. The bosses have 1 hit point, and you have 1 hit point. You also have only 1 shot, and you can go collect your arrow after you shoot it, but you have to go collect it. So it's all about just figuring out the mechanic of the boss that you're on, and then trying to kill them. Because they die in 1 hit, so do you, as I said. So it's pretty cool. It's punishing, of course. They had a death counter versus win counters, and this was just the tutorial that they had in the booth, which is 4 bosses. Fucking nobody was winning. It was like a horrible percentage towards people that just gave up. So it looks pretty fun.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
No, I'm really excited. I play Isaac, so I'm used to horrible death and despair. Speaking of Isaac Rebirth was demoed at the PAX booth, or at the Twitch booth, excuse me. Holy shit. It looks so good. It's 60 FPS now, and you can tell. All the items synergize, but the local co-op mode is definitely the way to play it, which sucks for people who want to stream it all the time, because you're not going to always have somebody to come over and play with you. So the way it works is the second player spawns as a baby familiar, which you could collect in regular Isaac all the time. They just follow you around and randomly shoot. But you can... So there's a few mechanics they can do. There's like over 100 different types of babies, too. Some items you get also affect the baby's tiers. The baby can't pick up items. But they can dismiss themselves and give the player a half a heart back. So if they're in a dire situation, like down to a half heart, you can give them another half heart by dismissing yourself. You'll just be missing that firepower from the baby. So there's a lot of like cool shit that the second player can do, can try to help to win and to strategize how they want to do things. It also looks incredibly hard compared to regular Isaac. Yes, harder than regular Isaac.
Oh, that's good, because that game was so easy. It was just fucking...
Yeah, it was super simple.
Got boring after a while, because you just won over and over again.
It didn't take me 20 hours to come on for the first time or anything. But it looks amazing. The big rooms are incredible. Some of the new enemies are just fucking devious. Like, just... Blob will still not be able to play it. It's very freaky.
Pretty gross.
There's poop everywhere.
It doesn't look like a Flash game anymore.
No, it looks like a Super Nintendo game through
which
and through.
Is way better.
Yeah. It will be amazing. November 4th, you can buy it right now. If you own the original game, which if you bought a Humble Bundle at some point, you probably do.
If you don't own Binding of Isaac by now, like just by chance.
Also, when they announced the pre-order, it was instantly within 15 minutes the number 1 seller on Steam.
Yep.
So there's a lot of hype for it.
We
I
ended
actually just
up,
bought it today.
Man vs. Game tweeted the trailer early, and we put it on the site within like minutes. It was on KBMOD within minutes, and then the video was privated within like 10 minutes after that, because like it was not supposed to be out. But yeah, it's $15 or something. It's totally worth it. And I know, so next game, Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I know at least 3 of us played that. Bloodborne is the new game from the Dark Souls folks, from the original Demon Souls and Dark Souls creator. He made this one. He did not do Dark Souls 2, for those that don't know. So it's really good. It's really good. Really disappointed in like some of the graphical stuff in it. Just showing that, you know, as a person who bought a PS4, like it's just not there yet. It just isn't. Like we've been spoiled.
It won't get there.
Yeah. Well, usually developers figure out ways.
It'll be better by the end of its lifetime, but it's not going to be.
The Last of Us Remastered looked really good, and I was expecting it to look like garbage, and I was pleasantly surprised. So I think there's a chance that it'll, because it looks okay now, but they can make it look a little better.
I think we'll get Bloodborne on PC in a year plus after it comes out. I think they'll do it how they did Dark Souls. Hopefully the port's better. But it runs at 60 FPS, at least I felt like it did. But like the distance drawing of stuff and like the aliasing actually really bothered me around stuff. Like everything was step laddered, you know, like it was just ugh. But yeah, blood comes out of enemies, and I think I was discussing this with Blah at the show. The creepiness factor of that world,
very good.
Is incredible. Which is not the feeling you got in Dark Souls games.
No,
because they never said anything.
Yeah.
Right. Dark Souls kind of had a more, and I don't know about Demon Souls because I never played it, but Dark Souls had more of a sort of like crushing loneliness feel to it, and it did that very well.
Yeah.
And I didn't really get that feel from Bloodborne. Like, granted, I didn't really like something that atmospheric takes a little while to settle in, but I didn't really get that first impression from Bloodborne, but I did get more of a sort of horror, creepy vibe. And as Nikon just mentioned, like one thing about Dark Souls and part of it that made it feel so lonely and part of it that made it really not that scary at the same time was the fact that nothing in that game talks that isn't a person. NPCs will talk to you in town and stuff, but all of your enemies are mindless zombies and monsters and yada yada. Your enemies in Bloodborne are humans that are undergoing a horrible transformation but are still conscious.
They all look like the Scarecrow from Batman.
Oh yeah, they
Scarecrow.
They look like, you know, filthy, dirty peasants from the fucking, I don't know, 1800s, I would assume. But a lot of them have like mutations that are going on. The reason it's called Bloodborne, they were describing, the guy at the booth was describing to me, is some kind of bloodborne. I can't remember if he said it was an illness or like an experiment gone wrong, but basically people are transforming into like sort of werewolf-like creatures, and a lot of them will have like a longer arm that's like hairy and clawed. But the thing is, they're still conscious and they still know who they are, and they will like shout threats at you, and it's kind of disturbing because you see this happening and you know that they know they're fucked.
Yeah, and the voice acting is really good. Like, they're yelling at you to stay away from them. Like, that's part of it, is like they know they don't want to infect you, but they're also like driven to kill you. So
they also, I think what it is they go around hunting people who have been fully transformed, like their own people, trying to like sort of purge the existence of them. I think your character is a hunter of everyone who's infected, so they know you're there to kill them.
Now,
but they just want to be left alone and try to contain it themselves.
I don't know if this information's out there, or if the guy at the booth told you. So, can you get new equipment and shit in that game? Was it?
I don't know.
It was a demo. I have heard from Twitter, granted, not like an actual source, but that it's more of like a action game, in that you're not really like you're starting with a class. Like you're not, but I don't know that for sure. The demo had you picking a class and then playing with that, without getting any equipment in the game really, except for like bullets and stuff.
Yeah, that was one thing I did notice. There was no sort of item drop, and I feel like if that were a mechanic, they would have, you know, sort of gone out of their way to make sure that you found like another item or something, and there was no equipment menu or anything that I knew of.
Yeah, I didn't see anything.
I would have to imagine
they didn't have anything like the soul feature like in Dark Souls 2, so we don't know how leveling works.
Yeah,
right.
Like, if there is any leveling, like, that's the thing.
Right. It could be that they're forsaking that entirely. We don't really know yet, but it is kind of interesting because that's a huge deviation, because the gameplay is so similar, but they're taking out an aspect, and I don't know if that's really a good idea. They're taking out the RPG aspect if they are getting rid of that. We don't have any confirmation of that yet.
Yeah.
But basically what Dan is saying, the way the demo was set up was you chose either a guy with an axe and a pistol, or a guy with a bone saw, which was kind of like a machete type thing, and a rifle. So it was like somebody with a good ranged weapon and an okay melee weapon, and then somebody with a good melee weapon and an okay ranged weapon. So there was no customization, there was no sort of costume change, but at the same time, in the trailers, there's like a pretty wide array, it looks like, of weapons. Like there's a scythe, there's people have noticed there's no swords in the game.
Yeah,
that's one thing. I guess because I don't know if they couldn't figure out a way to make a sword transform, because all the weapons in the game transform.
The weapons like go from at least the scythe is the one that I used, which starts as like a butcher's knife type range of a weapon, like, and it slashes really fast, and then if you transform it, it takes these really wide arcs. You can hit like more enemies at once that way. But
the axe transforms from a one-handed axe to like basically a polearm.
Yeah. So Bloodborne's pretty cool. Not coming to PC yet that we know of at all. I have a feeling it's gonna be a year plus, but I think it will. There's no reason for them to keep it.
So I was talking to somebody at work about it. Apparently, they are pretty adamant about it being a PS4 exclusive.
Well, so was Dark Souls.
But that was actually never planned to come to PC.
True.
That was done because of a petition. So we could potentially do the same thing. But
yeah.
Did you guys see any other games before I get to the ones that we kind of covered on the site?
Nuclear Throne. I don't know if anybody's played this or not, but it is fucking incredible, and you need to play it.
I played it for a while. I've been meaning to play it again because I know they updated it recently.
He updates it every week.
They dev it on Twitch, which is cool.
Yeah, which is very cool. But the thing that killed my momentum with it was when I tried to play, it didn't. I tried to stream it, and it didn't play nice with OBS at all. So I kind of had to give up on it. But they did fix that a long time ago. I just never really got back into it. So I've been meaning to. It's for those wondering, it's like a twin stick shooter, like a lot of style. It's a really, really good game. Good indie.
It's a roguelike too. It's
roguelike indie pixel based Nick Fenton game.
Yes.
But I also played a little bit of, and I wish there was more gameplay to it, but a game called Dragonfin Soup.
That looked really good. I didn't go play it. I wanted to.
Yes, it was kind of hard to find because it was up on level 6 rather than in the indie mega booth, and it is an indie game. But what attracted me to it was the art that they had just posted all over the booth was like incredible. Like every single piece of promo art they had a completely like starkly different art style from the last, but all of them were really good. Like I actually went and they gave me a press kit to get a bunch of like the art, like higher resolution artwork. I made their title screen my wallpaper because it is an amazing piece of work.
It's coming to literally every platform. Dragonfin Soup too.
Yep. Every current platform
except Xbox actually.
Oh yeah.
PS3, PS4, PS Vita, Android, Linux, PC, Mac, and iOS. So it's coming
everything.
To all this.
So it's a pretty heavy RPG with sort of it's kind of the like turn-based, you really only move your character and cast spells kind of thing. I would compare it to sort of like Crypt of the Necrodancer without being confined to the beat of the music. It's very similar to that with the top down, moving and enemies only move when you move. So the game moves at whatever pace you would like it to. So you can actually make it a pretty quick, like sort of actiony game. Or if you want to time your moves more carefully and kind of plan ahead, or if you need to stop and wait and think, then it's like almost like a game of chess because you have all the time in the world that you want.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. The main character is a drunken adult Red Riding Hood who is like a mercenary that protects her town. But she's like basically like curses like a sailor and is like, has an open bar tab with way too much money on it that you couldn't possibly pay. It's really, really good.
Maxwell Senpai, thank you for subscribing, sir.
Hello, Senpai.
I also saw this one we didn't write up, but I saw a game called Salt and Sanctuary.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Yeah,
Brandon also played it. It's basically 2D Dark Souls. It is going to be a PS4 exclusive for like a couple months or something, but then it is coming. They were like straight up, like the version we were playing was on PC and had video options and all that stuff. So they said it's coming to PC a couple months after. They went through Sony's indie program, so they like had to contractually do it. But it is literally 2D Dark Souls. The menus and everything are the same as Dark Souls. Like
it's like down to the HUD elements.
Yeah, the talent tree, which I did not see. I forget who told me this. Maybe it was you, Blah. Is like fucking Path of Exile.
Yeah.
Talent tree.
Yeah. It's huge.
I never
it's like
leveled.
sprawl.
But Brandon played it. I got to play it. Super, super good. The art style is awesome. It's got that whole Dark Souls vibe going, and it looks a little like an animated, not claymation, but an animated like Nightmare Before Christmas type of art.
Yeah,
style.
it's kind of got that going on. It's the guys that made Dishwasher, Dead Samurai, and Johnny Murder.
Yes.
Charlie
Murder.
Charlie Murder. So anybody who's played those is pretty familiar with the art style. I mean, obviously it's not modern day like those, but it's you know, it is set in medieval times, but it's, you know, you're familiar with the art style.
I'm super hyped for it. Like when I say it's 2D Dark Souls, though, I'm not just saying it's in the style of Dark Souls. It's fucking Dark Souls, like nearly 100%. The level that we played is like the first area of Dark Souls.
Yeah, it really is.
On a broken ass castle, and you know.
One thing I found about it was it's not as hard as Dark Souls, based on what we played. The difficulty,
was a son of a bitch. But
I got him. I came extremely close. I came extremely close to killing him first try, and I killed him second try. So
You're so much better at 2D than me.
I am a 2D connoisseur. But I don't mean to brag or anything. I'm trying to flip my hair, but I don't.
Brandon
have
got
hair.
destroyed by him too. We just got.
I got wrecked.
Annihilated. Sodden.
Seemed difficult to me.
Yeah. The basic enemies didn't seem that challenging, which is one thing that Dark Souls always had. Dark Souls was always like, even the regular old enemies pose a huge threat, at least early game. But of course it is really early and it's still just a demo. Like they could easily tune that up, make it harder.
So we did do 3 first looks of games that we did get from PAX, including 2, one that is not out yet. One's in early access. We took a look at FenixRage. You can check it out on KBMOD.com or on our YouTube channel. FenixRage is like a Super Meat Boy type game. It'll be out later this month, but we were able to get a preview build of it. It has a lot of mechanics that Meat Boy doesn't. It is just as fast-paced if you want it to be. The speedrun potential is, you know, ridiculous for this game. Just a really brutal platformer. There's, instead of a bandage, there's a cookie you go get as the character. But your character, the main mechanical difference is that your character can stay in the air forever. Like you can constantly just air jump, and you can, and there's a dash. Not a sprint, like an actual dash. So you can dash, you know, right or left, and you some areas require you to do it very fast. You can wall jump, of course, just like Meat Boy. But it's very brutal. Some levels are only in the air, so you have to kind of navigate. So when you hit the jump button, you jump a little bit, even if you're in the air. So you have to, you know, control that arc as you go up. Again, I'm not very good at these games, but I got to the second world, I think, on stream. It's very fun, though. And the soundtrack is phenomenal for it. Very, like, life-formed Big Giant Circles style music. Very, very good, though. I'm hoping they will sell the soundtrack with it. We didn't get any word on whether they were going to do that or not. It was the PR dudes that were there were nice, but they didn't know whether that would, you know, come with it. And they gave us a build, so shout outs to them. That game's real good. We also took a look at Shadowgate, which has been out for a couple weeks, I think. And that's like it's like an old school remake of an NES game, which is a point and click adventure game, but it's a roguelike. So if you fuck up a puzzle and die, you go back to the beginning, which in a point and click is very, very brutal to do to somebody. So we took a look at that. It's fun. If you're into that, the art is phenomenal in it. It's all hand painted. Very cool looking. You can get that on Steam right now. I think it's $25, something like that. But it's pretty good. But the game of the show for me that I got to try anyway, I would say Bloodborne, but I like with that type of game, I need to play like a few hours. Bloodborne.
Agreed.
But Hand of Fate, which is a game that's been in early access since early July. Hand of Fate is amazing, and we have, again, Shadowgate, Hand of Fate, and FenixRage. We have first looks up on, we got to play those on stream. I've been playing Hand of Fate on stream. Hand of Fate is $25. It's an early access. It's hard to explain without playing it. It is most like Isaac, but not not really at all. So you build 2 decks in Hand of Fate, and one deck is your equipment, which would be your item pool, equivalent in Isaac. The difference is in Isaac, it could be one of 300 items, whereas in this game, it's one of the 25 items you hand-picked for your deck. So those are items that can come up to help you. And then there's scenario cards, which I think are called encounter cards, actually. And it's a lot like Dungeons and Dragons in that they draw cards, and it's like you see a merchant in the woods, and then it'll give you a choice. The game will give you choices of what to do. Sometimes you get to go to a shop. But it is very cool. It's not a roguelike in the fact that you go back to the very beginning if you die, but you go back to the beginning of the boss that you were on. There's 12 different bosses. So you can go through several decks of cards to get through to the bosses. The crazy part is that when you go into a combat scenario, it turns into one of the Arkham games. So it's like this 3D combat arena comes up, and it's like combo-based, counter-based Batman Arkham combat. With the equipment that you managed to get. So, if you like Isaac, though, you will love this game because it plays in that style where it's random encounters, you don't know what's coming, only you have some control because you can build your decks. You can even control the encounters. The cool part is when you unlock new cards to put in the deck, you don't know what they do till they get drawn in-game. So you're kind of taking a gamble. So if you get a sword or something, but then it turns out to have some horrible downside, you won't know until you get it. So it is very, very cool. It's $25 on early access. I did discover a pretty game-breaking bug, but it doesn't look like anyone else had reported the same thing, where I killed the 4th boss in the game, and then it just stayed at a black screen. Like, the game never crashed. It just never loaded back out of the boss.
The visuals as good as these screenshots look?
The visuals in the combat scenarios, like, are kind of cheap looking right now. They are clearly not done with that part of it. Just the visuals do need a bit of an overhaul. The combat, though, is fluid and responsive, very quick. There's no you're never bitching at like, wow, I hit this button. No, if you're good at the Arkham combat or you like it, you'll like it a lot.
I do really want to try this. I didn't get to see it on the floor at all. Where was it?
It was right next to Salt and Sanctuary, actually.
Damn it! I was right there. I played Salt and Sanctuary.
So the devs were like, hey, and as soon as we told them, we had a Twitch channel, they were like, oh, here's a preview build code. So it was very fortunate to do it. I think I'm gonna have to reset my decks though because of that bug, because I don't think I can get past that boss now. The bosses. So when you draw a combat scenario 2, it'll be like 2 of Plague, 4 of Dust, and then you'll have to fight 6 enemies. 4 will be like the Dust type, which are kind of like bandits, and then 2 will have like poison stuff. But like I said, as you unlock things, you start to be able to counter, and so it's like Dungeons and Dragons crossed with Isaac, crossed with a deck builder. And I'm surprised no one came up with this scenario before, to be honest. There's also really cool parts, especially for streamers, where it'll be like you come up behind some bandits in the woods. What do? Do you leave them alone or do you attack them? Potentially getting some loot out of it. And it'll pull up 4 cards, and 3 of them will say success, and then 1 will say failure. And then it'll flip them and play the shell game with those cards. And so you can like kind of pull your chat on what decisions you make and that kind of thing. It's very cool. I can see myself putting in a shitload of hours to Hand of Fate. Except that Isaac Rebirth is coming out, so...
You really loved that game, too, because the 2 nights that I saw you when you were pretty gone, both nights you talked about that game. The first time I was like, oh, that's cool. And you kept talking about it over and over again. I was like, yeah, that's cool, man. Then the second night, you apparently you forgot about that, so you were telling me about that all over again, and I kept saying... Yeah, man, you told me about that yesterday. It sounds like a good game. And then you'd keep going. Like, yeah, man, you told me about that yesterday. But I didn't want to say, dude, you told me about that yesterday. Shut the hell up.
You should have told me that.
I would have felt bad because you're just so excited. You're like a little boy, like Christmas time. You're like, dude, this game's so good.
So yeah,
it's like it's like a cross. It was weird to me because when Dan was trying to explain it,
it's hard to explain actually.
It is really hard to explain because even after I started watching it, I didn't really understand, and I was like, all right, so this is a card game, and oh, okay, so it's kind of a choose your own adventure game. Okay, wait, what? Now we're in combat. It's like there are several different aspects to the game that I think it makes it a little bit hard to get into the first time.
Until you see the map card thing like in action, it's hard to explain what's actually happening. Like,
yeah, I watched the VOD of you playing it. It looked pretty. It's one of those things I think you have to play to figure out if you're gonna like it or not. Because to me, it looks like it's something I wouldn't like, but I thought that a Binding of Isaac, and I have hundreds of hours in it, so.
Anybody else? Anything cool at the show?
I did play a game up also on level 6 that was it didn't sound that interesting until I actually got to play it. It's called The Adventures of Pip. The guy was kind of pitching it to me, and I was kind of like, okay, that sounds kind of cool, but there's so many like concepts in the community of indie games that are just really nothing but cool backstory when it comes to it. But this actually worked pretty well when I actually got to play it. So the idea is that it's this realm of video game people. It's kind of like an old medieval fantasy realm, and the poor people are basically like single pixels, like you would see in Pong. The kind of middle class people are like I think 8-bit people, and then the really rich people are like SNES graphics people. Is that 16-bit, 32-bit? I can't remember. But so the kind of unique part of the game, and that's like the setting, and that's whatever, that could go either way. But the way the game works is your character Pip starts off as one of those little blocks, and all he can do is run and jump. And then you get sort of like a Mario-esque power-up that will advance you to the next phase of 8-bit, and then he gains more powers, and all of a sudden he's faster. Like he actually has a body. He can run, he can wall jump, and he can punch and kick. And then once he evolves to the 16-bit era, he gains a sword, and then he's much better at combat, and he gains even more abilities. And it's a Mario, like I said, kind of a Mario, big Mario, little Mario thing, where like if you get hit, not just once like in Mario, but several times, you'll devolve and then have to regain your power. And you can only obtain certain like collectibles or reach certain areas if you have a certain level of like power. And it just overall worked really well. The music was glorious. I forget the guy's name, but the guy who did the music for Adventures of Pip is the guy that did the music for Shovel Knight. So speaking of, got to see those guys. Can't tell. That's right. Got my Black Knight Enchantress shirt on. That's right. Best game of all time.
Still need to finish it. I'm a
Adventures
terrible person.
Yeah, you're awful. You're the actual worst. Is it Evoland? I don't know. I didn't play Evoland, but it's kind of like just a level of progression, like adventure platformer with those three evolutions that you kind of go back and forth between. I thought it was good.
The only other game that I played that kind of stood out to me just because it's a good idea was Screencheat. I don't know if any of you guys like saw that, but it looks like it brings back the idea of like GoldenEye on your Nintendo 64 when you're on the same TV. So you had to like have the honor system of not cheating. But in this game, instead of it's just like a normal FPS running around killing each other, you can't see the other player models on your screen, but you can see all their screens on at all times. So even if you're playing by yourself, you see the other three screens. So you have to cheat on their screens in order to know where they are and then shoot them. And anytime you shoot, it leaves like a smoke trail or something. So you can kind of see where they are on your screen, but for the most part, you have to cheat in order to figure out where they are. And all the maps have like different colors for whatever level and what stuff you're on. So oh, they're in the blue area, I need to go over there, and vice versa. But it's a really cool concept. We'll see how it works, because when I played it, the controls were inverted, and I didn't want to be a scumbag and like hit pause and like be that guy. So I just kind of went with it. But we'll see how it is. When you have like 4 people playing and you're all beveraging, I think it could be a lot of fun. So
filthy inverted casuals.
So that was a lot of PAX games for you there, folks. We had Evolve, Titan Souls, Isaac Rebirth, which comes out November 4th. Bloodborne, Nuclear Throne, which you can get right now in early access. Dragonfin Soup, I don't think it's out yet, but
No.
Salt and Sanctuary comes out February next year. FenixRage comes out the 24th of September. Shadowgate is already out. Hand of Fate is early access. Adventures of Pip, I don't believe is out. Doubt Screencheat is out either.
No, you can get it on Steam if they can give you a code to play it, but I tried playing it online and there was no lobbies at all, so which was expected.
Some new releases this week, not that much actually. Velocibox, which is a game if you want to throw up, it's a good one to play. It's like a sort of Super Hexagon meets audio surf kind of thing, because you're going straight down a tube and you have to use the 4 keys to ride a wall that corresponds to the key, and if you hit a barrier you die. So like it's pretty crazy, pretty fast, but it honestly, watching the video I was like, oh my god, because it's like constantly rotating, going straight down super fast. I don't know, it just for some reason made me a little nauseous. But
it's making me nauseous right now.
Yeah. So that comes out tomorrow. Wednesday, Altitude Zero, Lower and Faster. I looked at this game and I was like, man, this looks like Trackmania but with planes. And so I was like, yeah, that's pretty sweet actually. And that's what it looks like. Trackmania with planes instead. So it looks pretty cool, just fast, like sort of crazy aerial courses though, instead of track courses. It's pretty cool. And then if you like Fable Anniversary comes out Friday, which is like a total remake of the original Fable. If you like Peter Molyneux, get right in there.
What's in the Fable?
No, I mean people. I don't know.
Do you know what's in the Fable?
British people.
How long do I have to play the Fable to see what's inside the Fable? 300
hours.
Okay. No, not that many hours.
How many hours, Nick?
I don't know. Probably. I don't even remember how long the first one is. Probably like 15 hours.
To beat Fable.
I'm trying to say it's like the Cube. Like maybe there's something hidden in this one.
They're not that long. They're pretty linear.
14 hours. That's what I'm saying for Fable. There you go. We're gonna take a quick commercial break here, guys, and we'll be back with viewer questions. Be right back.
Hey Dan, you got to get in on this raiding. That was like the most fun I've ever had. Like wiping to a boss like 20 times and then killing it. It was like,
if you want to raid, man, better hop on Destiny. There are raids.
By that yet? Probably not.
I'm like really
join my fire team.
Is it out already, or does it come out Monday?
No, it comes out on Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay. There were a lot of good games, though.
Yeah, I'm glad I actually went and tried some this time. This was the first PAX that I tried more than one game.
Yeah, Friday I just went straight in and went to the Vigi games. Also, seeing an FGC tournament live was fucking sweet.
Their League of Legends area was set up way better this year, I think.
Where was that actually at?
Yeah.
It was on
right
the same
next to the
floor.
convention hall that we were on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was just they had like a spillover sort of area into the hall, but there was like way more room for people to sit.
And watch a fucking stupid game. Losers. Can't wait until Smite comes out on Xbox One. That's all I'm going to play it on. Best system.
I know someone who plays Smite with a controller on his PC.
I'm actually excited for it. I think it'll be cool.
I think it'll be good because it'll be cool to have a MOBA on Xbox.
It's the MOBA that makes the most sense to put on a console.
You know what game I want on console that is already well established on PC is friggin' Diablo 3. I've heard just such good things about Diablo 3 on console. Like, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I've heard it's really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, even Grip said it's really fun. But
can you play 4-player local?
Yeah.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I really hope the whole couch gaming thing starts to come back because I think before it was really hardware based. They couldn't do render 4 different screens even on just on the one because they were trying to push the systems. I think now they have the hardware where they might have to dial back the graphics a little bit if they focus on that element, but they can do it.
But the amount of people that want to do couch gaming now, that there's not many not a lot of studios are going to see that as a
Well, I think it's going to be more
put their money towards.
Yeah, it'll be more indie developers doing it, but the indie scene is just becoming easier and easier to like publish a game. So, I don't know. We'll see.
I will say I think this is the best PAX that I was ever at. Really fucking good. So.
Yeah.
All right. First question from Mitch M. I enjoy watching Dan's NHL streams and it flew up on the page on me. I was wondering, do you think there is any sports games producers like EA or 2K could do to make sports games as prominent as FPS and RPG? No.
FIFA's super popular.
Yeah, FIFA is super popular. And there's actually eSports scene around FIFA. Like, it's not huge, but it exists. Like, there are FIFA tournaments, you know.
Pack openings are also huge on that. So when you said they took out pack openings from NHL,
well, they didn't.
Really
they didn't.
Oh, they didn't
take out pack openings. But what I was saying, they gutted Ultimate Team though. Like a lot of the stuff you could do with it, like is So you can still do that, but like anyway, I feel like it's hard with sports games, especially because they're annualized. There's a point to their annualization. But, like, they are just annualized. That's how they're made. Like, there is a new one every year.
Yep.
So, to me, the longevity, it's like COD eSports. You never know what you're going to get the next year. Like, there's no, I don't know. I just feel like you can't do that. FIFA is huge, though. John is correct. Like, FIFA is a massive game. Maybe not here in the U.S. as much, but...
FIFA.
But, I just don't think there's any way because they're annualized. Like,
yeah, I think that's the biggest challenge is that you are so locked into a yearly release cycle, even more so than Call of Duty is.
Yeah,
like
they have to be.
They could push Call of Duty out to be every 2 or 3 years. They just choose not to. But with these games, like it's always been that way. It always probably will be that way. And I think that's a really tall order to try and create a competitive scene around when. I mean, the game is changing a lot year over year.
And, like, as far as
Madden hasn't changed at all, though. Madden has seriously been the same game for, like, 6 years.
A lot of them
but this year they have
less
gifts.
the same. But
how people are buying that game still. It's just baffling.
Madden is now the worst of the big sports franchises. With the one with the most money behind it, and it's the worst one.
I got Madden with my Xbox bundle. Madden 15, baby.
2025.
We here.
I will say the best thing to come out of Madden now is fucking SB Nation's Breaking Madden.
The gift rater's pretty good.
If you haven't seen Breaking Madden on SB Nation, like go do yourself a favor and just see the ways. Last year in the Super Bowl, the game would not go on that beyond halftime. He broke it so badly, the game just froze at halftime and birthed this Denver Bronco looking football thing out of the center of the field. I'm not kidding. This actually occurred. And he also discovered that, and this is baffling to me, this is just like blows my mind. Madden has all this money behind it, and like a bunch of the stats are limited to having 1 byte of space in the game. So like you can't go over like 31 in some categories, or 64, or 256. Like he hit the point limit in that Super Bowl, and it just broke. Just broke the game completely. Because why can't you can't allocate more than like 1?
Seems like there's probably a lot of like legacy code in there that hasn't been touched in so long, and it.
Why would they? They keep releasing the same game every year, and idiots keep buying them. But I just like that was my struggle during my GameStop years when I worked at GameStop as a teenager, was people coming in year after year, the same people to buy fucking Madden, and it was always the same game, and oftentimes would just get worse.
Like Madden right now is definitely the worst of the big major sports games. Like FIFA, NHL, like 2K, the NBA 2K series are all better games. Like objectively better games. Like regardless of whether you like football more or not, Madden is definitely the worst of all the games now. Like it's so sad because it should technically be the best one. Like,
I don't know why y'all hating. I'm like real excited for Madden 15. When I get it, like I'm gonna sell it and get like $20. It's gonna be sick. I'm gonna sell that code immediately.
But yeah, it's just impossible on the schedule that they're on. This question comes from Nikon Punch.
Yeah.
If you could forget one game,
asshole.
if you could forget one game and play it again for the first time, what game would it be?
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, that's gotta be
In
my
current
answer.
day, though, really,
Yep.
like if you could replay vanilla, maybe if you
That's what
could
I
like
mean.
go back.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Vanilla World of Warcraft.
Oh, I thought it was like if you could like just to play it again. Like I was kind of assuming it'd be locked to like a single player
Oh,
experience.
that's a good point. If you forget
Yeah.
the game, but you have to
Deus
play
Ex.
it today, World of Warcraft
That's
wouldn't
fine,
even
yeah.
be the same.
World of
I'd
Warcraft
say
would not be
Deus Ex
worthwhile.
that way then.
Still,
I actually
yeah.
couldn't even say Star Wars Galaxies because you cannot play it.
Rip.
Does
Deus,
not
Deus
exist.
Ex original. That's a good answer. I was vacillating between WoW and Final Fantasy VII, and now
Mine
that
was-
you have cut
See-
WoW out of the equation, I still
has
think
to-
I would be blown the fuck away by Final Fantasy VII.
It has to be,
Alien.
it
damn
has to be something. See, like I don't want to forget my times with Final Fantasy VII because it was such an integral part of me growing up. Like that game was
Yeah.
just. I have so many strong childhood memories with that game. I just wouldn't ever want to forget it. So I'm gonna say something more recent. I'm gonna say The Last of Us because that was just a really good game. Like
Yeah, that was
we
really
haven't
good.
had such like a great cinematic, like story-driven game that actually
Well-
pulled it off so legitimately in so long. So I would actually say that because I also don't have any sort of like legacy feelings that I want to forget with that game.
Yeah, I could see that. If I'm gonna go that way, I would actually go with Tomb Raider, the newer one.
Yeah, also a good
Raider's
answer.
Play it again.
I think the one for me is because I can't replay it without it being just ruined is Braid, because that's probably my best puzzle game I've ever played. And every once in a while I go, okay, I'm gonna try it. I haven't played it in like a year. I'm gonna forget stuff, and every time I go in and I remember about 80% of the puzzles, and it's just I just wish I could get knocked in the head really hard just for that one section of the brain that holds the memories for that game and play it again for the first time because that game was just phenomenal. But
BioShock.
One.
Yeah.
Good answer. Good answer. That would have aged pretty well too. Like,
It's some of the gameplay stuff is sort of like even for when it came out, it was
yeah, but it
like,
still
this is
looks
kinda
pretty
annoying.
good. You know.
Yeah,
Like,
it holds
Yeah,
up pretty well.
So look, I replayed it.
It came
somewhat
out
recently.
7 years ago.
Yeah, because that would like
Yeah,
be.
something
like
that
that.
would-
Jesus.
I think that would be
Great game.
the bad point of Final Fantasy VII. You'd be like, man, this looks like shit. Like when you first
Yeah,
played
that-
it. If you first
That would be
played
the major thing. Like for a lot of people, I really can't even like. Also, the gameplay, like for RPGs is really really dated because you like have to grind. You like it is very grindy and like kind of slow paced and
couple.
yeah.
Good
how
suggestions.
come I can't pay $5 to level up to the next one without having to grind it?
God,
What?
the
This
fact
game
that they
sucks.
even made that a fucking thing.
Portal or Portal 2 are good choices from chat.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the first time you played Portal, it was unlike anything you had ever played before. There had not been a game like Portal ever
Yep.
until Portal. So, yeah, that'd be pretty.
I would almost say Professor Layton because I enjoy this game so much for the puzzles, but I still have a bunch of them that I need to play that have a whole bunch of new puzzles. So it's not
I
worth wasting
actually,
a wish.
I actually might say, like as an experiment, I might say Counter-Strike because I've played Counter-Strike on and off for so many years that I would be interested to see what Counter-Strike is like when you're playing it for the first time
man.
in like today.
It's awful.
Because
Kind of sucks.
Well, I'm saying like I can't even think about it that way. To me, it has like helped define the entire genre over the past, more than a decade. But like if I was in high school or something playing Counter-Strike today, when like, Call of Duty is a thing and there are all these other games, I don't know. I think that would be interesting to be like, what is Counter-Strike to someone who didn't grow up with it?
Yeah,
Fucking
it's a
shitty
frustrating.
game. That's what it is.
It's a frustrating experience, is what it is.
Fucking stupid Call of Duty fucking clone. Obvious ripoff.
All right. Next question comes from Etch-a-Sketch on Twitter. Describe your climax with song lyrics.
Oh God.
The circle of life because it's semen and it makes babies.
The circle.
Oh, I read the question wrong. I thought it was song title. I came in
song.
prepared in the wrong way.
You can go
No,
with
I
that.
can't. No.
A lot of titles are in the lyrics.
That's
so
true.
There's that.
Let it go. Let it go.
Wait, I'm looking up the lyrics.
Is anyone there?
That's actually super good. I'm looking up the lyrics to Abercrombie and Fitch by LFO. Apparently,
New kids on the block had a bunch of Chinese food makes me sick.
Yeah, that's Chinese food makes
Girls
me
drop
sick.
down.
That's
Then there was the one by HMO. It was like Chinese girls make me sick, and I think it's fly when girls drop down and give Hummers.
I think I'm alone.
3 Days Grace lyric.
We're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl. Get real existential when you blow it.
Mine's just getting jiggy with it.
The lyrics to Snow have been posted, and
God.
to Snow's Informer, and I feel like, I don't know. Come on, feel the noise by the Scorpions.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That is actually spelled "come" for those that don't know.
Yeah, it is.
C-U-M.
Yeah, I actually had to fix that title. Like, it was spelled wrong, and I saw it, and I had to go fix it in my MP3 collection, and I actually don't feel good about it. Like, it's factually correct, and I did not want to change it.
Just like, man, did they really put "come" in the title? You crazy Germans in the 80s.
I'm just trying to think of Disney songs, but none of them fit. They're really good at not being innuendo laden.
I'll show you the world.
Which is ironic because
I can show you the world. Like, what? Doesn't fit at all.
Jesus.
I find it interesting that the impression, when like a universal impression of somebody ejaculating, always comes with a noise. Like
Yeah,
the
but
dick is making a noise, but the dick never makes a
Yeah, the
noise.
dick never
It's not like
makes
your
a noise.
dick is making a fart sound when you come. It's a
you
no,
might need to
like
see a doctor.
If you've
then.
never
Damn.
ejaculated
Dick don't
before,
make the
it
noise.
doesn't make a noise.
No.
yeah.
Maybe
If
you
you
had
have some
something
questions-
like partially
Facts
lodged in
from
there.
the
like it was
KBMOD
partially
podcast.
blocked.
You know what the problem is? Somebody probably like as a child heard impressions of it, and they were like, "My dick doesn't make sound when I come. I think I have a serious
It
problem."
doesn't work. I don't know.
I'm not. I have a
think
weak
I'm-
dick.
I think I'm broken.
It's a weak penis.
Harvester of Sorrow, maybe?
Master
Isn't that
of
our old
Puppets.
guild name?
That was a guild name that
It's
we
a
were
Metallica
in.
song.
Yes. And that's because Jollybone was emo. That was the literal reason.
It's a good song.
Jollybone sending PCs to everybody. Shout outs to Jollybone, wherever that guy is.
Shout outs to Roxy.
Shout outs to Roxy for being real ripped and tanking at 1 FPS. Shout outs to that guy. Next question. Blaze It. That is literally the name that wrote in. Blaze It writes, Dear KBMOD Bros, simple question for those who are employed full-time. Find myself lacking motivation to play games after work a lot, so all I do is beat off and sit alone in my apartment doing nothing. My question is, do you bros ever feel a lack of motivation, and what do you guys do to remedy it?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh yeah,
His
it'll start
situation gets a
around
little
9
too
o'clock
close
tomorrow.
to home.
I'm masturbating right now. I learned how to do it without hands. I'm just doing it with my thighs.
Yeah, his
You know,
thigh
just kind
muscles
of got
are
a
on
thigh
point.
ripple
Wow, that
going
is
on.
like,
Yeah, just a thigh wave. Just
jeez.
yeah.
That's
Mhm.
what do I do to remedy? Oh my god, don't make that face ever again.
I watch a shit ton of movies. That's what I've been doing lately when I'm not playing, because like I just don't want to play games, so I just watch lots of movies. Like the other day I watched Enter the Void back to back with 2001: A Space Odyssey. It was 5 hours of movie that felt like 37 years of just awesome cinematic torture. It was incredible.
Okay, so are we trying to figure out how to motivate you to play games? Because
I feel
mean,
like any motivation at all. I don't know.
like any. Okay, so I struggle with motivation a lot, and I've kind of rediscovered mine. Um, so I'm lucky in that I love my job, and a lot of people can't say the same. So I have a very hard time. But I have a very hard time motivating myself to do something I don't want to do. But basically, my old job was so terrible that it absolutely killed all work ethic I had. So even when I did go to my new job, which I do love, I couldn't motivate myself to do a lot of work in a day. So what I started doing is just setting daily goals for myself, which is something I never really felt the need to do. But now it was just kind of like, you know what? If I keep going down this path, it won't be good. I won't be a good employee. That's not what I want. So I'm going to set specific goals for myself that I have to do that day, regardless of what else goes on. So what I started doing was, just to keep up with the amount of applications we get every week for partnership, I have to do 200 applications a day. Um, Regardless of what happens. Maybe I do 100, 150 at work, but then when I go home, I have to finish the remainder. No excuses. Um, Basically, the idea is to look at it in your head as like set a goal and make that law. You cannot not do that. You can't skip it. You can't put it off until tomorrow. Set a daily goal and stick the fuck to it. It's really, really important to look at it in your head as not an option.
I started using one thing that got me on track, and actually I started doing it last year, then fell off it, and like have come back to it. Is because I'm doing like KBMOD stuff, and then also family stuff at home, and then working an actual job, and then podcasts and stuff like this. I started using to-do lists, and Google Keep is super good for a to-do list, especially if I know Brandon likes the Outlook tasks thing. I think Outlook is utter shit, but but we differ there. But see, I even have hit 90.
Wait, you use Outlook
on this? Well,
just for tasks.
Yeah, for
used
tasks.
Why? Ugh, I don't even like looking at Outlook. I don't like looking at the icon.
As an IT person, fuck Outlook forever. But that's besides the point. But get a to-do list manager. Google Keep is really simple. That's why I like it. It's just like super simple interface. You make a list and you add things to the list and you can check them off. Like and it's super lightweight too. Things like Wunderlist actually are like one of those Chrome add-ons that uses 8,000 megs of RAM for no reason. So I stopped using that. But I actually have hit 90 and WoW on my list. Things to do. That one's been put off a few times. But it really...
You have no option. You want to get up in this shit.
I do, really badly. But what Blah said is true, though. If I have that in front of me, then I'll fucking do it. Like, it's right there in front of me, and I'll get it done. Especially things like, as a homeowner, like mowing your lawn and shit. Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah, no, of course not. One thing I think sucks. One thing I think ties into this, and you and I were talking about this, I think on Twitter, Dan, is you will feel a lot better and probably therefore be more likely to kind of get your shit done if you start working out.
Yes.
Honestly, like it doesn't have to be anything intensive. You don't if you're not willing to put in the time to like get in shape, if you already are in shape, if you're just like, naturally a fit person, fine. But like just do a little bit, go running a little bit, ride your bike around a little bit, just for like 15-20 minutes out of your day, and that'll get your blood pumping. You'll feel a lot better. It'll improve your mood. It'll improve your motivation. Like ever since I've been like, I ride my bike to work every day. I ride my bike to the BART station, the train station. And it's like, it ends up being, it's about 8 miles a day.
Yeah.
Which isn't a huge amount for riding a bike, but that gets my blood pumping, and it makes me just like want to do things. I feel like if I don't do a lot with my day, it's a wasted day. So motivation isn't exactly a problem.
I've said this on IRC and like to people individually and stuff, but PAX East was like a real low point for me. Like, just was feeling like the dumps. Even Dave Oshry said to me at Prime, he's like, "Man, you're looking real good. You looked like shit at PAX East." Like that is the first thing he said to me. He's like, "You looked like shit at PAX East. You look really good now." And I was like, because my outlook has totally changed because I basically started working out and then eating well. And that combination like has made the last 3 or 4 months and some other changes I've made for myself. But You know, I think it makes a huge difference, especially when you've been sitting around for a while, especially when you're doing stuff like streaming, because then you were, you know, I work in IT, so I sit in a chair all day, and then I come home and I stream and I sit in a chair. So if I can get 45 minutes or an hour a day in, yeah, go paleo. It solves everything. That's true. Did for me.
True.
I mean, if you're not motivated to play video games, then you know, like go work out, go do some other hobby. I mean, the thing is, like, I think all of us, having been longtime gamers, like there are some times where you just don't feel like playing games.
Sure.
And frankly, there are almost always other productive and a lot of times more productive things you could be doing.
Yep.
So never feel obligated to play games if you feel like it's something you have to do.
I'm super glad that I don't go to gaming as that crutch anymore. Like, I play less than I used to, like, despite doing this for like a semi-job, you know, with KBMOD and my own channel, really wanting to do this. Like, I look at it more that way. I don't feel like I have to go play video games all the time now, which was a thing that I used to feel, especially back when I was hardcore playing WoW a lot. John and I were just on another level with that.
I've been there. I've been there.
Yeah, honestly, I've barely had time to play games at all these past like 2 weeks. Not counting games I've managed to play at PAX, and it's been great. I've been super productive. I cleaned my entire fucking apartment. Just good. It feels good to be able to get your shit done.
There's like one way that it's guaranteed it'll get you motivated, and like it depends on where you are, like on your location, but like we just look into what kind of in your area, what kind of narcotics there are. I mean, if you're in like a rural area, you're probably gonna have to go with like an amphetamine of some sort. But just depending on where you're located, like just get into that, like a real serious hobby, maybe like a passion. Describe it as a passion or something like that. Like if you're into the point where you're hallucinating, like just chase that dragon, man. Like trust me, things will be better. If you keep going, like you could do one more hit, you could do one more line, just keep going, going.
Well, when you get to that point too, then you make a list of things you want to do, and when you cross one off, then you get to take a hit.
There you go.
So that's what I do with bong rips.
Make a narcotics goal list. Like write them out and be like, oh, I mowed the lawn today. All right, I'll fucking freebase some meth, you know, whatever.
I can't. St. Jimmy had the idea of rewarding yourself by masturbating earlier. You get some work done, you can beat off. There you go.
It's true. Implement a reward system. Speaking
of narcotics, question here.
Good transition.
Drake writes, the most zooted of Drakes. Writes, marijuana has recently been in the sports ball spotlight for having two Pittsburgh Steelers smoking it in their car with a huge cloud coming out of it, thinking they wouldn't get caught. Anyway, for having stiffer penalties than domestic abuse and drunk driving, which is ridiculous. That wasn't in his letter. I'm just saying that. Due to progressive worldwide legalization of both medical and recreational use, and the slow rise of eSports, do you think national and international tournaments should require drug tests for participants? And furthermore, do you think they should test for all illegal use drugs or just performance-enhancing ones? Stay zen.
How many performance-enhancing drugs are there really for esports?
Well, here's the thing.
Adderall is the only one that I've seen.
Adderall's huge.
That's really it.
You could, I mean, in my opinion, yes, you probably should at some point start testing these people. Not necessarily for marijuana.
If you're at the international competing for fucking $5 million, you should probably be drug tested. I
would agree with that.
Like,
I agree with that.
Like, as we've said a few times on here, we're pretty cool with marijuana. But we've said that more than once on this podcast.
Shouldn't be illegal.
But as far as performance enhancing and drugs for esports, first you have to define what those are, of course. Adderall, Ritalin, I think would be probably on that list. Things that...
Yeah. I don't think anybody else is going to be using like an esports enhancing drug. Be like, all right, I did some coke. I'm really good at COD now.
It did some, well, you'd be horrible at a shooter. You just be like,
you think you're doing amazing. You're like, I'm fucking dudes up. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think you have to consider. I think you're right, Nick. Like, with that much money on the fucking line, dude.
If you want it to be a serious thing, then I guess
you're not necessarily testing for testosterone and shit. Like, that doesn't fucking matter.
MK696 says gamer grip has to go. It's unfair.
Oh my god, wait, no, I talked about
Your grip is way
using
too
gamer
good.
grip for the first time. It was
I bet
terrible.
you gamer food actually like has fucking crystal meth in it.
It
Shit.
might.
Oh,
I bet it has
yeah.
caffeine and shit in it, but you can't really stop. I mean, caffeine, whatever.
Yeah, no, caffeine's not an illegal drug.
Yeah.
Can't stop, won't stop.
But I would think you would want. Also, you would probably not want your entire league team that you're paying for hooked on Adderall. You probably like wouldn't want that at all if you were managing a team. You know,
Even as a sponsor standpoint, you don't want people.
Huh? That's weird that they're all hype as fuck, like constantly, just breaking
think
keyboards
some
after
people
wins and stuff.
On something, a lot, especially Call of Duty players, just screaming "Let's go" over and over again. Like we're all like, yeah, that dude's never taken anything to his brain.
Like
Just screaming at other dudes.
I think like again, we're defining
Okay.
totally
That
different
might-
drugs that, you know, if you're fucking playing leagues, like testing for testosterone and shit doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter at all. Although potentially it could help reactions and that kind of thing. It actually could. But yeah, no, I think you have to with that much money on the line. You have to make some sort of thing, especially for like Adderall and Ritalin. Those are the only two I could think of besides like hardcore narcotics that you would want.
The thing is that some people legitimately would have prescriptions for those for various things.
Potential.
Whereas like in sports, there is no reason for you to be taking human growth hormone for like any real reason.
That's
So
true.
it's probably
yeah.
a lot harder to suss out like the legitimate uses versus you are trying to cheat with this. I don't know.
It's
I
actually a
think
good point because they
probably
would be.
Yeah, like I think it'll probably it would take like some, I don't know, it would take some event happening for them to actually like for people to take it seriously. I think that right now there's too much to lose from like a player being, you know, caught with that stuff. Like if you're staking your livelihood on it, there's a big difference between you playing football or something or being a notable personality in sports and being able to have a future with the money you've already got from it. Like if you lose, if you lose your career in esports, it's not like you have a ton of money to fall back on.
Right. Yeah, for esports.
I would imagine since the things that would be abused are prescription drugs, people would just be going out of their way to get prescriptions. I mean, you can always find a doctor to do shady shit for you.
I think it's a lot. It would be a lot harder to actually make that a feasible test.
Also, until you see a problem, there's not, frankly, that much of a reason to go out of your way to test it. Like, because there's nothing. There's also like Adderall and Ritalin may help focus and may help time you could practice by just fucking staying awake. But like, you're not going to see an effect in competition if one team is on Adderall and the other isn't. Like, I don't think that would provide enough of a competitive advantage.
I don't know. Some people
Maybe. If you're not,
I mean, it's for focus though. Like I don't know.
You're
I feel
already
like,
pretty fucking focused if you're playing it like.
Yeah, but you could also have an off day. I think even the top players lose focus sometimes, and like with Adderall, you're just not gonna lose focus ever for any reason.
Yeah, I know. Like back in the day in the Halo scene, people were doing it all the time, and like there were a bunch of people that they were like, like they really stood by it. They're like, when I was taking Adderall and playing competitive Halo, it was like I could beat anybody in any fight all the time. Like that's just how you felt.
I know that on it that Joe Rogan's site has that Alpha Brain shit, which probably I don't know if it does anything or not, but they sponsor a Halo player on there.
Yeah,
for the Alpha Brain supplement thing, which is ridiculous expensive. I've also seen some streamers use it so that they're more talkative during streams, which is like really odd. There's nothing like wrong with it. It's not illegal or it's not even a prescription thing. Like, but yeah, like kind of crazy. Artificial personality, I guess.
Drug testing is also like would be incredibly expensive to administer.
It's incredibly expensive for pro sports. They just
I mean it like I just think that logistically I can't see it happening in like the next decade or more. But maybe if esports does ever hit the point where, you know, it does have the legitimacy that real sports do to the general public, and there's a lot more scrutiny on that stuff, then maybe. But I think that's a long way off.
I would agree.
It comes down to money and like what the public kind of their stances on it. But I think when the more money that gets pumped into it, then it just becomes a who can pay the doctor to have the drugs that don't get picked up in tests, because that's what it is in pro sports right now.
Yeah.
You have enough money, then you're gonna be on something, and it's not gonna get picked up.
I am an advocate personally, and this is probably gonna be an unpopular opinion. I don't know, maybe. I am of the mind that pro athlete wants to do some HGH or some shit, fucking let it go. Like, I really truly believe that, because if that's gonna give me watching some ridiculous shit happen, I'm kind of all for it. Like,
you're thinking about it from the consumer basis, like a television viewer. Or something.
Yeah. I think there were so many dudes. Like, when baseball was crazy roided up in the late '90s, it was exciting as shit.
Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire duels every season.
Like, that was awesome. And
I don't think of this. Maybe we should be pushing drugs. Like, I want to see dudes playing hockey on DMT. They think they're in like flying through the universe, seeing aliens, but they're also on ice skates.
Listen, Doc Ellis
like,
threw a no-hitter for the
is
Mets
on
acid,
like a horse sedative, just fucked up as all can be.
Rugby on bath salts.
It should be mandatory. I'm flipping this 180. Athletes, professionals, they all gotta be on drugs.
I think that dudes should be able to take testosterone or HGH. I think they should both be legal. It helps recovery time. It helps injuries. Yeah, it makes them genetic freak monsters, but come on, let it roll. If you want to do that to your body to get a competitive advantage,
then that's
I feel like those aren't even steroids. Like, testosterone and HGH. Like,
we should have separate leagues.
There you go.
Separate leagues for all the people that just want to go fucking ballistic and destroy their bodies. Call it Mutant League, which I think was actually a game.
Yes, it was, and it's and a cartoon. It's awesome.
Good lord, we should have that. We should. I'm pretty sure that was also a point of a source of several of the jokes in Monday Night Combat, and whatever the sequel to that was.
Super Monday Night Combat.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if you legalize testosterone and HGH, then everyone can use testosterone and HGH. Therefore, the playing field is level.
Yeah, but those people are kind of destroying their bodies.
Yeah, well, those two things actually will help your injuries, recovery-wise.
Well, I didn't choose to be a professional football player.
I was
just standing on a field one day with a football, and they said, "Here, come play this."
These people just started paying me hundreds of thousands of dollars to take a beating on my entire body.
I want to see more baseball if there was a Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire thing going on, because it'd be entertaining as shit. Like, let Barry Bonds
see someone throw a football 120 yards.
Goddamn neck go up there and hit 9,000 home runs. I'm all for it. Dude, half the NFL is just genetic freaks anyway. Just let everybody come in.
It's true.
You know?
I want to see field goal attempts from like the 5-yard line from the other side, and then they make it.
Legitimately, people would not be as fucked up after playing like in the NFL for a few years if they were allowed to take HGH. They would just not be as fucked up. Because your body's just going to get destroyed anyway. You're playing in the NFL, so, you know, why not? Well, that got interesting. I'm all for Fenton's idea, though. We should just have DMT hockey. I'm totally cool with that. DMT, League of Legends. Man, I would actually watch the hell out of that.
Nobody's characters are moving. They're all sitting in their chairs, just like sliding around, like touching each other.
Dude, did you see what my ultimate does? No fucking way. Oh my god.
I ripped a hole in time and space. And I can do it every 3 minutes.
I'm like actually on Summoner's Rift right now. Come on, guys, let's get Baron.
Well, that's it for the KBMOD podcast this week. We were all on acid while we did this podcast. Check out KBMOD.com. We've been posting a lot more lately, as we said at the beginning. Check it out. Also, KBMOD.spreadshirt.com. We've had new stuff up there for a while now. You can get the Blah Raccoon shirt, the Bearded Dan APL Fisher. The Sean shirt is my favorite shirt on there. So,
pretty solid.
Yeah. But go check it out. And you can follow all of us on Twitter. Our handles are on the screen right now. And yeah. Thanks to Nikon Punch for coming on tonight.
Yep.
And we'll see you guys next week for episode 157, directly after the Ultra Street Fighter 4 tournament that day on this channel. So make sure you follow the channel, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Later.
Later.